2 Kings 2. And it came to be, when Jehovah was to take up Eliyahu to the heavens by a whirlwind, that Eliyahu went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Eliyahu said to Elisha, "Please remain here, for Jehovah has sent me on to Bethel." And Elisha said, "As Jehovah lives, and as your being lives, I do not leave you." And they went down to Bethel. And the sons of the prophets who were at Bethel came out to Elisha and said to him, "Do you know that Jehovah is taking away your master from your head?" And he said, "I also know. Be silent." And Eliyahu said to him, "Elisha, please remain here, for Jehovah has sent me on to Jericho." And he said, "As Jehovah lives, and as your being lives, I do not leave you." And they came into Jericho. And the sons of the prophets who were at Jericho came to Elisha and said to him, "Do you know that Jehovah is taking away your master from over you today?" And he said, "I also know. Be silent." And Eliyahu said to him, "Please remain here, for Jehovah has sent me on to the Jordan." And he said, "As Jehovah lives, and as your being lives, I do not leave you." And the two of them went on. And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went, and stood facing them at a distance, while the two of them stood by the Jordan. And Eliyahu took his mantle, and rolled it up, and struck the water. And it was divided this way and that, so that the two of them passed over on dry ground. And it came to be, when they had passed over, that Eliyahu said to Elisha, "Ask what I am to do for you, before I am taken away from you." And Elisha said, "Please let a double portion of your spirit be upon me." And he said, "You have made it hard to ask. Yet if you see me when I am taken from you, it is yours. But if not, it is not." And it came to be, as they continued on and spoke, that see, a chariot of fire with horses of fire, which separated the two of them. And Eliyahu went up by a whirlwind into the heavens. And Elisha saw it, and he cried out, my father, the chariot of Israel and its horsemen." And he saw him no more. Then he took hold of his own garments, and tore them into 2 pieces. And he took up the mantle of Eliyahu that had fallen from him, and went back, and stood by the bank of the Jordan. And he took the mantle of Eliyahu that had fallen from him, and struck the water, and said, "Where is Jehovah Elohim of Eliyahu?" And he struck the water, and it was divided this way and that, and Elisha passed over. And when the sons of the prophets who were from Jericho saw him, they said, "The spirit of Eliyahu rests on Elisha." And they came to meet him, and bowed to the ground before him. And they said to him, "Look, there are 50 strong men with your servants. Please let them go and search for your master, lest the spirit of Jehovah has taken him up and cast him upon some mountain or into some valley." And he said, "Send no one." But they pressed upon him till he was ashamed, and he said, "Send." So they sent 50 men, and they searched for 3 days, but did not find him. And they returned to him, for he remained in Jericho, and he said to them, "Did I not say to you, do not go?" And the men of the city said to Elisha, "Look, the site of this city is good, as my master sees, but the waters are spoiled, and the soil barren." And he said, "Bring me a new bowl, and put salt in it." And they brought it to him. And he went out to the source of the water, and threw salt in there, and said, "Thus said Jehovah, I have healed this water. No longer shall death or barrenness come from it." And the waters were healed to this day, according to the word of Elisha which he spoke. And he went up from there to Bethel. And as he was going up the way, some youths came from the city and mocked him, and said to him, "Go up, bald head, go up, bald head." And he turned around and looked at them, and pronounced a curse on them in the name of Jehovah. And 2 female bears came out of the forest, and tore to pieces 42 of the youth. And from there he went to Mount Carmel, and from there he returned to Shomron.